Oasis Helsinki. This looks like another building with a green roof. It's not your fault, Oasis Helsinki. If you were the first project I'd looked at, I'd be all over it. I'm just sort of getting really fed up now with the green roofs and the projects that sort of occupy the perimeter of the site and then just sort of build it up. But maybe you're not doing that. Maybe you're doing that with a twist. So let's see. Let us see. Interior looks nice. Diagrams are fantastic. They're useful. I just I don't love the way they're used on the page. Maybe I sort of wish that these all had their own page. I'd probably engage with them a bit better. Next one. It looks good. Like, it just looks a little bit. I mean, this is super exciting, but I don't know how feasible it is. I also don't know how this stair detail works. I don't know how this was generated. It's okay. I just don't have, is it bad? Like, I just don't have an awful lot to say about it. I've just seen a lot of projects like this one. See, they say it radically addresses reprogramming, repair, and recycling. But like, where? A unique facade system that allows local changes in the future while keeping up with the aesthetics. But it looks to me like there are so many little pieces and components that it just seems like you've made it a very difficult job to do. Proper sized structural grid to allow adaptability in the future. Fair enough. I agree with that. But I don't know. It's sort of like, it's not the ideas that I have a problem with. It's like the execution of the idea that ultimately it just ends up looking like not everything else. I mean, it's nice, but I just don't love it. And I don't think this is realistic. It feels like a giant terrarium or a jungle or a safari park inside your building. Oh, that's a beautiful reference here. I think that's Dorothy Modrup. Is it? Dorothy Mandrup. Sorry, I was saying that incorrectly. Wonderful reference. Moving along. Somewhere. This thing looks weird. It looks like a, I don't know, Thunderbird technology or something. Got this weird, fussy strip falling at an angle, and you've got these two chunky bits. You know what's funny? I almost wish, if you take this one, and this one, get rid of this thing, and you just scale them up, this would be a way more interesting project at first glance. Sketches are nice, colors are weird. Sketches aren't helping me at all. Nope, this looks like it's a model, yeah. It's a cute drawing. It's what's here that I have the problem with, not necessarily how it's been communicated. I mean, these trees are cute, people are awesome. It does feel like two projects. You have like the upper project and you have like this lower project. And then you've got this like art style, but then everything's grey and black and it's just a bit underwhelming. I'm gonna say this again. I sort of wish this top part sort of ×2 or scaled up was the project, not this round piece here. It just feels fussy. Yeah, nah, not in love with it, but I do like the style of the images generally are quite cute. They're nice and playful. So I'm gonna move it along. Sailing ship 5. What happened to the other 4 sailing ships? This looks like a 3D model that's sort of been superimposed onto the base image. Like this lotus flower thing going on. Looks sort of like it's just been designed in BIM. Nope, not a good image. What is this going on up here? It's like someone's accidentally sort of removed part of the sky and replaced it up here. You know what's kind of funny? Let's just not look at this for a second and let's just look at this. If your project was like this, I'd be way into it. It's like this glass box that's floating in the sky. That would be really funky, a really abstract, academic project. What if the building or the museum was in the sky, in the clouds? That would be more interesting than what I'm sort of looking at here. I don't mean to sound mean about your actual project, it's just more about the ways in which the project's communicated. Yeah, just like CAD plans, straight out of the model, just is underwhelming. Image, 3D image, just looks like it's straight out of the model, no sense of materiality here, just underwhelming. Screenshot from the 3D model, just underwhelming. Interior's actually interesting, to be fair, but still ultimately underwhelming. Sketches are exciting. That's nice. It's quite expressive sketches as well. But the whole sort of lotus flower thing is just a bit boring, I think. Gonna move it along. It's kind of annoying because, well, how do I start here? How do I start? So this is obviously a 3D model, and it's been put through a filter has been applied to it to make it look like it's been hand drawn. The problem with that sort of filter in effect is that it's very difficult to read. So if you squint, there's actually next to no hierarchy in the image from a line weight perspective. If anything, the proposal itself, which is here, is sort of defined by the lack of the thick line, which is sort of apparent on all of these, and the lack of detail shown. The problem with that is that same lack of detail is applied to the park in behind and the sky and the harbour. So really when you squint and look at this, it's a little bit of a sludge of an image, which is a shame because it's actually something that looks like it's been applied to a 3D model. So what am I getting at here? It probably would have been more effective to just print out the image and sketch over it with tracing paper and just show me that image. But you know, what can I say? That's just what I think. It's my takeaway from it. So now let's just look at what is here. We have sort of an elevated plinth, and we have like 4 or 5 little sort of chamfered volumes. I do love the bold slap of blue on these images in this page. It's fantastic. Really nice. Oh, and I like how that sort of blends into this. This is really effective. It's a nice page. Maybe I don't like this crop, although this image is useful. It's like a street through the building. It's interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you have conferences, technical spaces, workshop, gallery, so 3 and 4, gallery, yep, 5, office, 6, restaurant. I like this guy hanging out here on the diagram. Beautiful section. Beautiful section. Fuzzy page again. This one's a bit of a mixed bag. It's really hard to gauge really what the quality of the spaces will be like. I think in a really interesting way. This is like a highly diagrammatic submission. What do I mean by that? There's not a lot of sense. Well, I guess there's a little bit here, but there's not a lot of mood or feeling or atmosphere in a lot of the images. They're all quite technical to a degree, which is fine, but it's hard to get a feel for what the project will actually be like. And I think that's one of the benefits of having an aerial view, but the aerial view in this instance is a little bit funky. And again, this doesn't help. It'd be nice to have like a harbour view. We don't sort of have that. Again, just more technical sections and drawings and diagrams. And then a reference. Now I can't say much more about it. It looks, I'm sure it's fine work. It's hard to get. It's hard to really extract what the real quality is of this project from these 5 images. Gonna move it along. Ah, this thing looks messy. Don't like it already. A Musa. Next image, no, don't like this at all. Sketches, they're not even helping it. No. Not for me, not for me. Not for me, I'm afraid. Let's try this one more time before rudely moving on. No, not for me. No, not working. Gonna move it along. Next one, can't tell. Lots of wood. We distilled the building to its skeletal essence, drawing inspiration from the simplicity of primordial human construction. I would say at its essence it would be more of a square-like form factor. Instead you've got this fussy curve, so I wouldn't say that's essential, but I'm not going to get pedantic about it. Let's look at what's here. Yeah, see, that's what I mean. You'd sort of build this, wouldn't you? Instead we end up with this functional structure blueprint. What's here though, by the way, is nice. I'm just caught up on that phrasing of that. This is less interesting. I'm never a big fan of sort of like an architectural structure that translates in like a directional way, in that, like, you know, sort of, how do I say this? It's like I would like some kind of cross bracing here, personally, whether it's functional or not, just to sort of resolve the form a little bit. It looks like, I don't know how to explain this. When I see this image, I sort of get like an instant panic attack that a little kid's gonna kick this guy, and it's gonna fall and hit this one, and it's gonna fall and hit this one, it's gonna fall and hit this one. So even if the cross bracing isn't necessary, from a structural point of view, I'd like to have it anyway, for two reasons. One, I think aesthetically it would be much more pleasing on the eye, and this would look less sharp. And two, it kind of psychologically would make me feel a little bit safer. I know that sounds ridiculous, but it's just my takeaway from this image, and I'm being hyper pedantic about it. But again, Cal, I can't keep talking about what I want to be there. I have to talk about what is there. So what is here looks fine. Looks fine. Next image. Yes, looks like a wonderful space. As far as the lobby images go, this one's quite nice. It's really good. I like the scale of it. I don't know what's happening up here with the kids, but I love it. I love the idea of it. This looks exciting. I just worry about the adult who decides to go in here with his kid, and then the phone drops out of his pocket and it falls down here and sort of cracks an old lady on the head. And then, I don't know, maybe some coins fall out of his pocket, and it's just complete chaos in the lobby. So I don't know, maybe, because then you wonder then, okay, then so how do you let people onto the mesh? And then it's like, oh, do we have like a security guard who checks phones in? And you think, oh, I've got to check all my phones in for what? I guess I'm getting caught up in the detail again. But what's here as an idea is really playful, and I like it. Yeah, really good image. References. So, what do we have? I guess we have a fine building. I just worry a little bit about the way it's expressed, almost like this horizontal house of cards. If you take one element out, they all sort of collapse. The quality of the image is nice, the quality of the presentation is nice. I think it's good. I think it's fine. Yep, all good. Moving on. Reflecti, situated amidst key landmarks, parks, and surrounding sea. The museum serves as a nexus. I see 3 big blocks. This is a nice image. Don't understand how this reflection works. Oh, maybe I do. Sightlines, a lot of text. Oh. I'm so annoying today. Sorry, I'm being very nitpicky. That reflection would not be that clear in this image. And then it almost tricks you into thinking that there's something that has been superimposed onto the facade, or there's something in behind the facade that resembles the Ferris wheel. But I'm just being a little bit of a nut, sorry. I mean, my work's not perfect. Interior, this looks like a nice little playful ceiling. I like the lighting in here. This feels like a space, you know, it doesn't feel like an idea. It feels like something that's been considered and designed. For example, the ways in which it looks like you would transport artwork and installations, which is nice. Always nice to see those types of considerations, or that type of consideration for space. The view out looks really nice. A little montage collage at the end. Yeah, my problem with this project really is that there's a lot of it in a way. I mean, if we just had one confident, if we just had one confident big box here, instead of 3 sort of unresolved boxes with different ideas, where you've got this like cantilever, you've got this glass, you've got the ceiling, you've got the green roof, you've got the setback, and then this one's a bit big. I'd almost rather it sort of like, if we started from here, and then you just told me this was the project, and this is like the core space, the interior lobby, and then this sort of this sort of space is just sort of applied outwards, and then we have like just a pure clean volume with a really nice facade would be more interesting to me. Yeah, this all just gets a bit fussy. It feels like it's too many elements here all working together. I mean, if I look at the diagrams, okay, so they had A and D, and then they twist A and D, and then they create this sort of throughway to the park. And then maybe this is the image that gives me the real headache. It's where they wedge this guy in. Feels unnecessary, in my opinion. I think 1, 2, 3, I think you had it here at 4. And I don't understand why you felt then you needed to add another piece. But, you know, I mean, I understand there's program, space requirements. I just sort of, I like it here, not here. That's all. Next one. These guys look like they've done something similar in a weird way, just multiple little boxes. Next image. Moody image, for sure. What are these, like turbines? What is this? Everything is possible. The gallery space, the core of the museum, is divided into 2 building sections. This allows an uncomplicated transformation of exhibitions during ongoing operations. Okay. The image shows a scene with a high proportion of different materials and constructions. Circular design, strategy, important. I'm just not reading all the text. Translucent curtain facade. Nah. It's so funny. It's like, okay, interesting. What is this? No, wait a minute. I've gone on to the next project. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Have I? No. What is this? This is not this. Or this. Is it? Well, I don't get it. I don't get it. Oh, I don't know. And then this cruise ship's just coming straight for it, and everyone in here is panicking and running out because this thing has just gone off the rails and it's going to crash into the building, and I don't know what's going on here. No people anywhere. Tradition meets modernity. No, I can't make sense of the project. I don't know why here it's like this little glass massing model, and then here it's like this giant draped structure with a crane. It's like a scene out of that Speed 2 Cruise Control. Next one, Spaceman. I mean, call it what you want, but it's still just a green roof that you walk up and you turn around, you turn back. Like, so bored of seeing that. Sorry, I'm being really salty here on this one, but I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. I like these little openings here. They're quite nice. Formally, it's interesting. The spiral sort of goes the other direction. So this one's kind of going anti-clockwise. Generally, they go clockwise. Diagram is nice and useful. I do sort of understand the concept quite quickly, but it's also because I've sort of seen the concept done quite a lot already. This is interesting. I think I would prefer it if this was more unified in a way rather than it being broken. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces with these little edges in the middle. I don't know. Oh, really nice use of the bottom shot here. I just haven't seen this done very well yet. The quality of this space is exciting. I think spatially this makes for a really interesting project. I think the overall concept though is just something I've seen done quite a lot. Maybe you'll do it really well. I don't know. This is nice. Nice page. Yeah, good. Like, I don't have a rating system, but you're definitely, if 10 is a winner, you're in that 5 to 7 range, which is good, in my opinion. Maybe 6 to 7 is good. So maybe you're in that 6 range. I don't want to open a can of worms there by giving these ratings now. But anyway, that's sort of my criteria. Moving along, next one. Ah, this looks nice. Again, another spiral with a green roof. Arc Deuce. Page doesn't give me a lot. This is beautiful. I really like this. It looks really well considered, well articulated. It looks very buildable. Yeah. But it can't, it has to be more surely than just ramps around the interior of the facade, no? Where are the galleries, you know? It's a bit annoying because we have to look at the lobby. I'd almost rather see the lobby from the entrance when you look up and see how this works. There's something very flat and elevational about this interior, whereas this is quite exciting. Quite exciting. Yeah, looks good. I don't know if it's a winner, but it's interesting. Looks like interesting work. Yeah, the ziggurat temple here. It's a good reference. This is a cool reference too. Don't know where this fits into it. Next one. Hagrid and Harry. Okay. A lot of text, but let's look at these. Sight, base, mass, mirroring, form giving. It's kind of nice. This is effective. I look at this though, I'm like, oh, it looks nice and clean. But then it's like the purity of this sort of form here then gets disrupted by the way in which it's sort of, I don't know, the way the cladding works. Solar panels look fussy. Yeah, what is it, like copper? It feels like a loft or something. Again, like I've noticed quite a few projects have this sort of domestic scale to the interior. It does just, like, I mean, I know it doesn't make sense. It'd be quite a fancy loft, but don't know. Like, how did they get this guy into this space? Like, like where did it come from? Like, did you turn him sideways and get him under here, over there? I don't know. I think this is a fine project. I think there are a lot of really good architectural ideas in it. My concern really is just the way in which it's sort of visualized ultimately. I mean, even just the composition of this image makes the project feel huge. And in reality, you're actually only occupying, I'd say, 60% of the footprint of the site. So then why would you show it, you know, looking so dominant in a way? I don't know. Hagrid and Harry, I don't understand that reference. The only association I have with that name is Harry Potter, but I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something here. I think the spaces are interesting. I think the references are nice. Overall, I think it looks like a nice project. It's just not that exciting to me. My favorite images are these diagrams. So it's good. Going to move it along. Oblique aerial view. I don't like the big triangular opening here, and then they've done it again here. I understand that there's sort of like, it's referring to these sort of references, diagrams, sort of explain things in a way, but then it's again, like I've mentioned previously, it's like, that's it. Keep it there. Just keep it there. What's this? Don't need it. Don't need it. But then this is interesting here, seeing this image. Interior's nice. Yeah, it is nice. It's a nice interior. It's triangles. I just love the triangles, which is fine. Like, that's cool. Like what you like. I don't know. I don't know if it's a winner, but I don't think it's bad by any means. Just, I don't love it. Just make this really good. Make the boxes really good first. Just giving yourself a headache with these little edges. They're cut in a triangular form to create external openings. I mean, ultimately it is this. It's just cut off the corners. But what do you gain from that? What are the benefits of cutting off the corners? It creates external openings in the volumes as well as internal atrium space. But you can just put doors here. Don't know. I am not convinced, although what I see, I mean, sometimes it's just nicer if you just tell me that you just wanted to make a really cool looking form, because this looks nice, big time. Looks nice. Looks cool. And the interior's nice. Yeah, I think it's okay. Gonna move it along. Yikes. Oh, I always get nervous whenever I see projects that sort of play and mess around with the harbour and the site. Pseudonym. Noisy diagrams. I don't know what this is. Feels more like an auditorium, like a music hall. It's nice. These are nice images. Yeah, this is a nice page. It's useful, you know. It is useful. The fifth facade. Blue-green oxidized copper. I do like the copper. Yeah, I don't know. This is interesting, but then when I sort of see it in reality, why is it so dark and it's a bit gloomy? I don't like these shared stairs, and it takes up so much of the footprint of your building. This one makes me wonder how the program works. I don't like that they've taken up part of the harbour. I don't love this overall. Don't think it's bad work, just it's not for me. Moving on, next one. Hey, this thing looks so weird. I don't understand what the idea is here. I need to see more. Vitruvian Man, Vitruvius de Architectura, grids, golden ratio. This thing looks like it's basket woven with some type of fritted glass pattern. This interior is really cool. It reminds me of that Villaretz library in Where is that? It's not in Rotterdam. It's somewhere in the Netherlands. Nah, I don't know. Nah, this isn't for me. It looks like there's well thought out ideas in this project, and it looks like it's well considered, but then the actual application of those ideas doesn't interest me that much. But I don't know, I mean, what is the idea here? Is it glass? I don't know. Recycled wood, recycled steel, panels. No, I'm not a big fan of this one. Next one, white on white. This looks fussy. Too much text. This is nice. This is less nice. And when I say this is less nice, I just mean this in relation to this. I wish it was all sort of like this. Interior looks weird. Vodka, nice. Section. I don't know. Whoops. It's just so weird, like it's just unresolved formally. It's got big pieces, small pieces. Why does it have so many little pieces? None of them seem to be uniform. They all seem to be different. This is a nice image though. I don't know. I don't know.